Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the goddamn internet. And today we're gonna be talking about Danny Sheehan and him dropping some hints at Jake Barber, our favorite barber man. You know, the big-eyed guy. He's been in a lot of things lately. A lot of people have been talking about him. He's one of the newest and largest figures in the ufology community. He's in the Skywatchers team, and we're going to be talking about some shit. Okay, so make sure you stay tuned because the best parts are at the end as always. Subscribe, notifications on, like, comment, share. That helps the absolute most. And without further ado, get your snacks, get your popcorn, because today's going to be a fucking good one. Okay, check this shit out.
These activities of the United States military deploying nuclear weapon systems has been the subject of very real surveillance on the part of the UFOs. And that's why Lou and others had come up with this idea of trying to bait the term that the burglar is using here, to bait their coming in to do the surveillance and then trying to trap them and to knock down their UFO with this new electronic pulse weapon that they've been using to actually knock down UFO.
So what I am wondering right now is whether this was Interloper or Haystack, or what program was this, because we've been speaking a lot more about these programs under Immaculate Constellation that traps, or at least attempts to trap these UFOs, attract them and trap them. Okay, so and now we're talking about EMP, electronic pulse weapons, some shit, right? And that must be quite a sight to behold. If I was to work in that capacity, I would fucking love my job, right? That's some really fascinating stuff. I'd pay to be there instead of being paid. Okay, god damn, right?
That's true, and extraordinarily unfortunate. I mean, that's engaging in warfare, basically, against these craft, because they view them as a threat to the national security, because they're doing the surveillance of our nuclear capabilities. But the bottom line is that I am completely opposed to doing that, and it backs us up into the question relating to Jake Barber. You remember that Jake Barber is now saying that, and everybody's extraordinarily excited about this whole thing, that Jake Barber is in a private capacity, has assembled a team of people that he is going to be engaging psionics, of reaching out telepathically to try to draw in some of these craft, but they're talking about apparently capturing them.
So I can't remember exactly who said this, but I think it's Michael Ferreira, some shit. He stated that there are aliens imprisoned. Okay, ET, interdimensional, whatever you want to call it. This is some SCP type shit. Okay, containment breach, right? Supposedly these entities, beings, right, are imprisoned. And there's been a lot of more talk about this. I wonder if this is reinforcing those beliefs or conspiracies, or how exactly this is going to all fit together, right? Let me know what you think in the comments down below.
Not just videoing them, and not just showing, oh, here they are, they're coming and approaching, but I'm deeply concerned, so is the New Paradigm Institute, about potentially utilizing the capacity of psionics in mental telepathy to attract these craft, and then engaging in some sort of aggressive, hostile action toward them.
So I'm not against that, and here's why. Someone from Skywatchers or any of these organizations that claim to do this or be able to, they should get funding from someone like, there's so many ufologists, fucking rich people, right? Gary Nolan, there's so many people. Fugel from Skinwalker Ranch, the owner of that. There's like billionaires, right, that would fund something in this capacity. Someone should do this and film it in the public square, X, YouTube, whatever. They should get their psionic agents to bring down this thing and then pulse it and let everyone see what the fuck is behind this veil, right? That's like the best movie idea ever.
Now, this is especially dangerous if it's being done by our U.S. military, but it's also dangerous if it's being done by some private aerospace corporation, for whom he's working and his task force are employed by. That there's well, even though there's an independent outside funder that's funding their team's operations, they've been engaged in this activity. People haven't really grokked this. His activity of recovering this egg and these other things is inside some range. It's a privately owned area where there's a private aerospace corporation, Grumman, actually, aerospace corporation that he was employed by.
So there we go. Look, Danny Sheehan has so much credibility. He's handled so many legal cases that are astounding. This guy has the backing of so much work. Outstanding guy, has done high profile cases. He has been in classified facilities, accessing classified things about NHI, and he managed to his story would do so much better, but he's done a lot for the ufology community. Okay, and yeah, he's stating right now that Mr. Barber is employed, was and maybe still is employed by Northrop Grumman. Okay, weird name. And that maybe he's part of some kind of, misinformation campaign where they use this egg tech or whatever the fuck it is, and that's how they do this. That's part of a program to get attention away from their tech and maybe push forward these crazier ideas in there. I'm just trying to think of it from their point. I don't even know what the fuck to think, right? Let me know what you do think, though.
And to have the commercial for private profit corporations engaged in trying to capture their own craft, UFO craft, is just slightly less ominous an activity than our United States military taking them down and trying to reverse engineer them. Neither one of these two motives, in our opinion, is appropriate. Trying to either gain some explicit military advantage over Russia or China by back engineering these craft, by knocking them down and taking their technology, or the private commercial industry, trying to capture these vehicles so that they can get patents on these technologies. I think both of those are low consciousness motivations.
So this also extends a little bit into Stephen Greer's narrative, where he claims that these private parties or individuals, they buy these technologies that people develop that are free energy and would eradicate global warming. He states the green agenda is just a misleading agenda. Things aren't allowed to be as effective as they can be. And this is like, Greer has released movies about this, speaking about it, and it feels like it's somehow able to connect, but not quite. Let me know what you think, if there is indeed a connection to this and what that is.
And that therefore the private citizen groups, civilian, non-commercially motivated civilian groups gathering and reaching out to establish telepathic communication with the craft and demonstrate our openness and friendliness toward them is an important alternative dynamic that I think really needs to be undertaken. And I'm going to do whatever I can in talking with Ross Coulthart and the folks, and getting to hopefully talk with Jake and Fred Baker and some of the other folks to make certain that type of lower consciousness motive is not going to characterize their activities.
Okay, so now we're talking about low consciousness, which is a really weird thing to talk and think about, because we know Barber and Michael Herrera have stated things leading to supposedly children and people being abducted from Indonesia and third world countries because they have a other mindset which attracts these things or makes their psionic abilities more strengthened somehow, and there's been really a lot of talk about this and now we're doing it again. So is this a pattern? Is this connections? Uh, and supposedly they give drugs to these people, and psionic acids don't last long because of all this straining on their mind, and I don't know even what else, psyche, right? And like human trafficking, that has become a large talking point when it comes in terms of Diddy, or all these famous people, Jeffrey. There's so many like seriously influential people being taken down for these types of things, and there's been a lot of talk about the Epstein list, and and the reason the FBI are not wanting to release this is because there's a lot of public, really influential people connected, as you can see in all the photos, and even in the Diddy scandal, all this footage, all these secret fucking rooms, and yeah, I think there's a lot still to come out. I mean, these people can only keep it private for so long. Um, Influence only lasts so long as you maintain it, and there's a lot of things that happen in between.
Because even the person who's financing those activities comes from a major private investment group. I do not want, our new paradigm institute does not want the exploration of space and the reaching out to our extraterrestrial neighbors to be motivated by private commercial profit making.